Okay, folks, this is something I found on the side of the road. It's just packaging, but it's very, very, very fancy and luxe and over packaged, you could say. You can't say that this company's really trying to be sustainable if you have packaging like this. But, we have to fucking, have a look and see. Nerds will inherit the copier world. Yes, they will. Gonna leave it on 100. But yeah, it's really like this company's a real money fucked company. And the man in front of it, the man behind it, currently he's an asshole. He's a fucking idiot. Even though people like to worship him because he's the CEO and people worship rich people and people in power and people that make their product. And I don't have any respect myself for this shit, folks. I don't care anymore what these bitches think of me. But let's see what it is. Okay, it is a box from an iPod Air. An iPod Air. So that's a box. Look at this box. It's so fucking... It's typically Apple. So fancy and so uppity, a status symbol in itself, just like the product itself almost, except it's not the product. Sad, but what can I say? And these products are not even built to last. I've got an iPad. I had it for a while, and it's really not working very well. Yeah, but basically I got it as part of a bundle with my telco. But basically I haven't bought an Apple product for years. I used to have an iPhone 5S. I still got it, but it's dead. And I got the iPad 2 mini just over there on the table as part of the telco bundle. I still keep it. I've got music on it, but I'm not an Apple fan, folks. Just let me get that straight. I don't follow Apple. I don't admire them, folks. I have no admiration for the bitches. I don't care about what they think of me and what they don't. I don't care if I hurt their feelings because they're just a bunch of assholes, and they're still manufacturing products in the dreaded Foxconn facility in Shenzhen, China. But there are other places there they're thinking of manufacturing or whatever, but basically Shenzhen, the Foxconn is still going, whatever the case. But basically, it's all about money, and it's just slave labour. You heard about the suicide fences, nets that they mounted around the Foxconn facility, folks. They should really attack the problem of low wages and hard work, treating it like a sweatshop for these people, for these poor Chinese workers. And most of these workers don't even own their own product. They don't even own a fucking iPad. They don't own a fucking iPhone. They just make them, and that's it. They're just fucking slaves, and they don't get paid enough so that they too can enjoy the fruits of their labour. That's really pathetic. I'm going to use this as my master copy. So I really have a deep resentment for people like Tim Cook, who don't care about the little people, who don't care about their own fucking workers. They just want to make money. Money, fucking money. Fucking money for Tim Cook. Tim Cook, the selfish bitch. Tim Cook and his stupidity. Tim Cook is an idiot. Yes, you are an idiot, Tim, and I'm not scared of you. You might be rich. You might be one of the richest people in the world. But I say, fuck you! Bitch. Fuck you, Tim Cook. You and your bullshit. You're not a Steve Jobs. You're an imposter. And those poor Apple fans have been hoodwinked who camp out the front of the shops waiting for the fucking product like it's a fucking second coming of Jesus, so to speak. Second coming of Jesus, they treat you with that kind of admiration. You are a sicko, Tim Cook. You are a fuckwit. You are dumb. You are stupid. You don't know how to make a good product. You don't know how to fucking satisfy. You're just a bullshit artist, full of money and full of fuckery. I don't care what you... That's what I think of you. I just ripped one. I ripped a fart. I hope you heard it, folks. I hope he heard it. Because I've got no respect for that fart. That constipated fart called Tim Cook. Money fucker. So yeah, that's the thing, Tim. People really respect you. People really look up to you. And yet you put what's called an Apple tax on your product. Because people, even if you charge them extra, the fans will still come for more. Even if you charge them too much for your dumb, substandard, shitty product. So I'm not happy, folks, with this Tim Cook. He's an asshole. He's a fuckwit. He's a dickhead. And I don't care what he thinks. I don't care if he wants to sue me. He can go try, because he's not going to succeed. I'm smarter than he is. He's an asshole. I might be disabled, I may not have the ability to run a corporation, but I know I'm not stupid. Disability or not, I'm fucking smarter than that bitch. He's an asshole. And he can blow it out his ass like that fart I just did. So he can just go fuck himself. He's an asshole. He's a dick. I don't care what he thinks of me. He can go fuck himself. Because he's an asshole, he's a dickhead, and he's earned my disrespect. He has. He's earned it, folks. He's just earned it. And he got these things called Genius bars where you come to get your phone serviced. But I wouldn't be surprised if the so-called geniuses behind the counter are not as much of a genius as Apple likes to make them out to be. It's insulting to geniuses, folks, when you see that kind of marketing shit. So, yeah, I'm not happy with the status quo of things, folks. It's like I'm never going to be happy, folks. It's like I'm never going to be happy with the status quo. I have a hatred for the photocopier industry, even more so than Tim Cook. But he can go fuck himself, and I'm just talking about him at the moment. He can go get fucked. He can take his bullshit elsewhere, and slowing down, and iPhones being slowed down so they become unusable so that they can be replaced. That's sneaky shit. And yet the fucking Apple pundits come for more. They come for more. They get more. It's like, fuck, if only people would see this shit for what it is and fucking boycott. Made in China. Should be made in America, because after all, it's an American company. What the fuck are you doing? Treating Chinese people like slaves just because they are used to it. That's not right. You don't do that. I know the Americans are not wanting to work for a slave wage, but you just take advantage of disadvantaged people, folks. Of course no one, that's why you go to China, because the Chinese are treated like little pawns, little cheap and nasty treatment you give to these marginalised people, folks. People like Tim Cook. So, yeah. Anyway, enough of that. Let's see what we've done to Tim Cook's shitty packaging. Overpackaged, but that's come up looking quite interesting, actually. I think we can now call this rant, or this crankiness, finished.